Greetings and welcome to Connecting with Intent Show. I'm your host Muhammad Awais. On this episode, we have a very amazing personality. He is a senior technology executive, technology strategist, and leadership innovator, Stephen Andrew Salaka. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Stephen Andrew Salaka. Stephen, welcome.
Welcome. Hi.
Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
So I'm thinking I was probably 5 years old when my father brought home a janky little computer. It was an HP 9830. I was 5 years old at the time and really into choose your adventure books. So I said, "Hey, how can I get this book into the computer?" So I went out, I programmed the computer. It really became a passion of mine, doing stuff with electronics, with technology, and really my career just blossomed from there. That passion has taken me from slaying kobold dragons in the early 2000s to leading Japan's largest English language instruction school. I managed a predictive analytics program for the F-35 Joint Fighter Jets, and I even have helped out build out Tesla's supercharger network. My whole career has revolved around doing amazing things with technology.
What is your higher purpose in life?
Education. I absolutely love teaching people, mentoring, coaching. There's nothing like seeing someone go from believing something is impossible to that moment when that light bulb clicks and those connections are made and suddenly see endless possibilities. It's that spark that drives me every single day.
That's a powerful purpose. What have been top three greatest challenges that you have had to overcome?
Probably the first was losing my Navy career. After 4 years in the Navy ROTC, while I was pursuing my physics undergraduate at Virginia Tech, I had a training accident, and unfortunately, it severely injured my knees, and it forced me into a completely new path. So, going from doing stuff in the military to right in technology. Second, in 2010, we were in Fukushima, or in Japan, when Fukushima went off. And I was in the middle of giving a presentation to big client in Japan. We were on top of a 26-story building. The building was swaying, the walls were coming down, the ceiling tiles were collapsing, and I really thought I was going to die. And so now here I am with everything that I've survived. I'm beginning to wonder if I might secretly be immortal for some reason.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn? And how did you grow from it?
So growing up, the dream was to get a career, to be at a company for a long term and be there for a long time. So my greatest failure really wasn't preparing for my first layoff. When I started working at Nova Corporation in Japan, I soon realized that the business model really wasn't all that good. And despite my best efforts, and we put out a tech solution that allowed students to communicate with teachers remotely in their own homes, it eventually failed. And it taught me two critical lessons. The first is really to understand business. It's important to understand how business works, what business models do. And so I pursued my MBA trying to figure that out. And the second thing is to always have an escape plan because life never really follows a script.
What is the most impactful book you have read and what did you learn from it?
So my favorite book of all time, and also my son's favorite book, it's called The Book with No Pictures by B.J. Novak. He loved it. I even got to read it to his class a couple times. And while it's a wonderful story for getting kids excited about reading because it's their first book without actually any pictures, the true impact that it taught me was it's a powerful demonstration of storytelling. It showed me that even the simplest narratives can be incredibly captivating and influential.
What are your goals for the next 12 months?
Well, first, I'm going to try and find my new role. I'm looking for a role as a director of software engineering or VP or CTO level. So that's really my first priority is to provide for my family again. The second is I'm going to try and market my newly released book, Elysium Rising. I just finished writing that. And I'm actually writing my second book now. It came from the ATS about the horror stories in the job market. And finally, I'm going to finish up my amateur radio license.
What advice you will give to younger yourself?
So if I were to meet my younger self in the past, I would give him this string of numbers: 4, 26, 97, 24, 31, 33, 42, 44, and 45. The reason being is that's the first Florida lottery number that won after my 18th birthday. And I would tell myself, hey, make sure you invest early because you don't want to spend a couple of years of your life living out of your car.
That's a great advice. How can we support you?
The biggest thing is, if you know anyone who's looking for a software engineering leader or a change management leader, please have them reach out and contact me. I'm on the market now, and frankly, I'm running out of resources.
What would you say about your guest appearance on the show?
I think it was great. I think it was a great opportunity to reach out to a wider audience, to talk to the folks who are in your audience, and let them know about the great things that we do with technology.
Thank you for your kind words. Oh, okay. What closing thoughts would you like to share with our listeners?
Always remember it's the small things that matter. Your big problems usually stem from things that are very tiny. So if you pay attention to details, even the smallest things can have the greatest impact.
Thank you, Stephen, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Connecting with the Intent community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Muhammad Wes. Until the next episode, all good wishes.